y'all, Slaymates. It's me, Akenisha, your favorite boutique consultant, and today we are going to talk about email marketing, but we're going to talk about it in a different way. I'm pretty sure I've done a video about email marketing, but not this way. So we're going to talk about how to grow your list, and then we're going to talk about something I did with my list, which you can tell by the thumbnail, something I did with a flash sale and the great results from it. So you can tell by the thumbnail. I think, well, it depends on what thumbnail I decide to choose, but whatever. Anyway, I have said this time and time again. Sorry, my shirt is weird. Okay, I have said this time and time again. There is money in your email list. You just have to know what to do in order to utilize it correctly, because you own your email list. You do not own your social media. You don't own your Facebook page. You don't own your Instagram page. You don't own your TikTok. You don't own your Snapchat. Oh, excuse me. I'm not on Clubhouse. I don't have an iPhone, so I don't know about that, but it's not your app, so therefore you don't own that either. So, what is it that you do own? You own your website and you own your email list. So you need to grow that list. I make majority of my money from return customers that I email. It is easier to sell to someone who has already bought from you than to sell to someone who is totally new and you got to start all the way over on building trust and them liking you and all of that. So therefore, your money is in your email list. You need to learn how to use email effectively. So the first thing you need to know in order to grow your email list is you have to have a good host first. You can either use Shopify email. Shopify has had its own email since like, I can't remember when they started it for everyone, because I was one of the testers for it. So, excuse me, I don't remember when they started, but either way, Shopify has email now. Just make sure you read up on it so you can get familiar with it. The templates they're kind of basic, but that's not a big deal for an email. Like, you don't need your email to be all fancy schmancy and all this sort of stuff. As long as you have good graphics and, you know, your photos from your website and that sort of thing, you're good. Of course, you want your email to be connected to your Shopify. So that's another reason why Shopify email is really good, because it's already connected to your website. I have been using MailChimp for 3.5 years. I've been in business for 3.5 years. So I have been using MailChimp. I have 2 different accounts. I have an account for this particular part of my business, and then I have an account for my boutique. My boutique's account obviously is older, so I don't have to pay for anything, whereas MailChimp now has a lot of things that used to be free. You have to pay for those options. So on my other account, I have to pay for certain options that are free on my grandfather plan for my boutique. However, I will say that the options that I pay for, $14 a month, totally worth it. So when you have your email host, one big thing that I recommend is having automation set up, and MailChimp has something called a customer journey. I'm actually going to do a video here on YouTube where I'm going to walk you through certain things on MailChimp, some things I know that you need to know in order to use MailChimp effectively. And then I'm going to actually do a masterclass where I go in depth with the things that you really need to know. I don't have a date on it yet. Not sure when I'm going to do it. Excuse me for that. Like, my allergies, my sinuses they're draining, so I apologize. Anyway, so yeah, make sure whatever host you use has automations. Shopify just started automations, so that's a good thing as well. And if you don't know what an automation is, it's just basically an email that gets sent out automatically after a customer does something specific. So the next thing you want to do in order to grow your email list, you need to have a pop-up on your website. And it's best if that pop-up is connected to your email host. So if you're using MailChimp, it's best if well, never mind, because now they have it where if your email host is integrated, which it should be, with your Shopify, it'll get sent there anyway. So forget that. Just make sure you have a pop-up. MailChimp, you can design one in there. You can design one in Canva and then have, like, you know, you can put the photo in it or whatever. But yeah, just make sure you have a good pop-up with a good offer. And make sure that your offer is not showing before a person puts in their email address, because I know some people who do that and then they end up not even getting as many emails because they're already showing people what they can get. So just make sure you have a good offer. Let them know what it is, but don't give them the code until they give you the email. And that's where your automation will come in, because when they put in the email, they will automatically get an email sent to them with the offer in it, with the code or whatever it is you're doing. Next, make sure that that you treat your email list, or you present your email list like an exclusive club. That's what I do. So I'm going to tie that in with my next tip. So these two tips together: present your email list like an exclusive club and call attention to it. So on Instagram, for example, so many of my students have heard me say this, but this is my main thing that I do, and it works for me. I will send out certain things just to my email list. I will not tell my Instagram followers or Facebook people. I won't even put it on my website. I will just give them a code, and I will then announce on my Facebook, my personal Facebook, business Facebook, and Instagram. All email subscribers, be sure to check your email for today's discount of the week or whatever it is. And then if you're not on that list, you're like, dang, I didn't get one. I want to know what they're getting. And they're suffering from FOMO. A lot of people don't want to feel like they're missing out on something. That's what FOMO is, fear of missing out. And when I do that, I tend to get more subscribers that day because people want to be nosy. They want to know what is it that they're missing out on. So I let people know, like, if you are not an email subscriber, you're not going to get certain deals. If you are not a certain type of email subscriber, you're not going to get certain deals. So I have my email list is segmented with different groups. So if you are someone who has spent a certain amount of money with me, you get sent different emails as well. So you just have to be very strategic in what you do, but make sure you treat your email list like a club and make sure people want to get into that club. And then you have VIPs inside that club as well. You get what I'm saying? I also recommend that you email your subscribers twice a week. I have been having problems with this for the past few months. I used to schedule out all my emails, like at the beginning of the month. I would just schedule like 4 of them, and then the next week I would schedule out like 4 more, and then I would be done because I would send about 8 emails a month. But I've just had too much on my plate, and then my creative brain juices hadn't been flowing, so I think I've only been doing like 3 emails a month. So, but when I've done them though, they've done really good. So yeah, but I do recommend doing it twice a week. Don't do more than that unless it's like, you know, holiday like Black Friday week or something like that. But other than that, don't email don't bombard them. It's going to look spammy and they're going to unsubscribe, or they will just stop opening them. Okay, so you need to get people used to hearing from you, meaning that you need to be consistent, and you also need to use good subject lines, because people just, you know, they get tons of emails a day. So they're not just going to open yours just because. If they're used to hearing from you, know that you have something good inside that email, they're going to open it. And just make sure you have a good, enticing subject to make them want to open it. Okay? Attention all boutique owners, are you struggling, frustrated, overwhelmed, not getting any sales? Well, let me, Ikenisha, help you. I want you all to join my 5-day boutique intensive. That's right, you will be able to learn the 5 pillars that I concentrate on to gain website traffic, sales, and so much more. But you have to act fast because I'm only accepting 15 students, and this does start February 8th. So click the link in the description box and join me. All right, so I know you all are gonna I said it all the way wrong. I know you all are waiting and wondering exactly what happened with me. So this is what happened. I decided, well, I'll start from here. I had a lot of dead inventory. If you don't know what dead inventory is when you have inventory that has been sitting for over 90 days or over however much time for you, which is longer than your normal turn rate. I had, you know, inventory that I may have 1 or 2 pieces left, or I had all smalls left, because as you all know, I don't sell a lot of smalls. I had some inventory where I had ordered too much stock. Hold on a second, y'all. There we go. I need to clean my lens. So yeah, I had inventory where I had ordered too much stock, so I had, you know, more left over. You know, just inventory that was not moving. That's what dead inventory is. So I was like, what can I do to get rid of this? Because some of that stuff had been sitting there since when Cairo was born, when I rebranded. So as you all know, I closed my website and I reopened it on my birthday of last year, and my birthday is in March. So it had been sitting here for almost a year. And I was like, okay, some of this stuff has to go. So what can I do? So I was like, okay, those of you who are who follow me on Instagram and are on my email list for Boss Playmates, you all know that I had a flash sale, very random. I made all my master classes and ebooks and guides and everything, I made all of it $2.21 in honor of the year 2021. And, you know, I couldn't do $20.21, so I just took the zero out and did $2.21. And it did great. Helped a lot of people. I was like, I'm just going to help a lot of people meet their New Year's resolution goals. And, you know, I had gotten word from God, like, you need to help people. And this will be a good way to get people the help that they need. So that's what I did. So as I was sitting and thinking, I was like, maybe I should do that same sale, but on my dead inventory. And I was like, ooh, that's really cheap. I'm going to lose a lot of money. And then I was like, it's just sitting here. It's not moving anyway. $2.21 a piece. It will get moving. And I just have to chalk it up as a loss and keep it going, because I have, if you all don't know, I have a lot that's coming in. I got a lot already here that I haven't even taken photos of, taken out of boxes and stuff yet, because I didn't have the space. So I decided I was gonna mark down all of my clearance, including handbags, to $2.21. No one knew about it except for my email subs. So what I did, this is something else, like I was saying, you need to create urgency and anticipation. When you create urgency, people will rush to your offer. So what I did, I sent an email on Saturday, and I let my email subscribers know, like, hey, you all know I do a deal of the week. The deal of the week for next week, I'm going to let you all know what it is ahead of time, so you can go ahead and fill your carts, because this is going to be a once in a lifetime deal rather. So I went ahead and told them, I had a cute little graphic up there, all clearance, $2.21, fill your carts now. Sale will take place midnight Sunday. Or was it midnight Saturday? I think I mixed myself up. Either way, I sent out an email the day before, letting them know that midnight the next night, I was going to start having all the stuff marked down for $2.21. So I was really tired that next day, which was unusual, because normally I don't go to sleep till about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, but I was super tired. So I was like, okay, it's getting late. I need to have all of this stuff marked down by 12 o'clock. So at 11 o'clock, you know, I didn't really have anybody on my site at that time. Well, I didn't have anybody. I think I hadn't had any visits in about an hour or so. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead, mark down all of the clearance right now to $2.21. So, excuse me, I did that, and then I made my email. I was like, well, you know what? Instead of scheduling this, I'm just going to go ahead and let it go. So that way, you know, my email subs will get to know about this first, and then I'll let other people know later. And I was like, not that many people are up right now. I'm pretty sure this was a Sunday, because I was thinking that no one was going to be up. It might have been Saturday. I don't know. Anyway, I just did this 2 weeks ago, and I can't even remember. So yeah, I then sent the email, because I was like, it's probably not going to be anybody up, and then when they get up, they'll see this. So I sent the email at like 11:07, if I'm not mistaken, when I looked in my MailChimp. It sent at 11:07. By 11:17, I had 3 carts active on my MailChimp. Because, you know, you can go to the little thing in your MailChimp and go to your live view, and you can see what people are doing. I had 3 active carts. I had 50-something people on my site. And then in 30 minutes, I had 68 people on my site from all little dots. I mean, we're just everywhere. And I was sitting there like, okay, so I guess it's way more people up than I expected. Was not thinking that people were up. But then I'm almost positive it was Saturday when I sent this, now that I'm thinking about it. Because the deal of the week starts on Sundays. So yeah, I sent it at Saturday at 11 o'clock. That's exactly what happened. So yeah, people were up. And so by like 11:34 or something like that, that was when I had like 70-something visits total. People were constantly checking out. Like the carts were like booming. So I know it was people who, they already had their stuff in their cart. They took my advice from their previous email, and they already had their carts ready, so that way they could just go ahead and click. And it was so many people on the site at one point. It's like 100-something visitors, where my website just froze. And I was starting to get, if you all don't have this, I highly recommend it. There is an app that you can plug into your Shopify. It is made by Shopify. It's called Shopify Ping. get that, because if people are on your website right then, they can contact you through text right then. So I was getting messages on my phone. People were saying, is your website frozen? Is your website down? I think your website crashed. And I'm like, yes, it's too many of y'all on site at one time. And so now it's starting to freeze. So it was only like that for a few minutes, and then it stopped, and then it went back to normal. So by an hour, I want to say it was right before 12, I decided to just go into some of my popular Facebook groups that I'm in and post that same graphic. So I went in to, I think, 4 or 5 Facebook groups, and I posted that same graphic, and then more dots popped up. So it was like Christmas lit up on that screen. So I don't know how many were from Facebook, but they popped up after I posted those graphics on my personal Facebook and 4 or 5 groups. So by like 12 o'clock, so it was about an hour. So I'll say about, I think it was 12:10 when I looked, and as each order was coming in, I was grabbing stuff and kind of putting it to the side and putting little post-it notes on it so I would know whose order was whose. And then by an hour, I had sold out of everything. I had sold out of all of that. Well, I lied. I think I have 3 pieces left of that dead inventory. But other than that, gone within an hour and 8 minutes, if you want to be exact. So an hour and 8 minutes, I sold out of, I don't know how many pieces it was, but I want to say it was a good 100 pieces, because I even marked down more stuff. So as people were on the site, I was marking down other things that were regular price. I just went ahead and marked it down because I was like, look, ain't nobody gonna get some of this stuff. I'm about to go into springtime. I'm gonna mark down some of this other stuff and keep it moving. So that's what I did. And yeah, it was like they saw it. Like, it was one item that I marked down. This one set, I marked it down. Time I marked it down, it sold out in 3 minutes after I marked it down. So it's like, hey, I know I didn't make as much as I could have made if it had been regular price, but I got rid of stuff that had been sitting there. And my mom, she is on my email list. And she was like, I cannot believe you marked down all that stuff to like $2. No, she's not on my email list. I think she saw my personal Facebook post about it. And she was like, why didn't you mark it down to like $5 or something? And I was like, literally, I did not care at that point. I just needed it to be gone, because I'm starting to get inventory now for my men's collection. That is starting to come in. I have the stuff already here starting to get here for my boxes that I'm doing. My wholesale is about to start getting here in 2.5, 3 weeks. So I needed space, and I needed that old inventory to go. Inventory that had been here since March, April. So it is what it is. So yeah, I said all that to say, your email list is where it's at if you use it correctly. And people say that they don't understand how to make money through email. Like I said earlier, you have to be consistent. You have to have automation set up. You have to use good subject lines, and you have to get people wanting to open your messages. If you just have little boring messages and all this long thing of text, paragraphs of stuff, and I'm not reading all that, just get straight to the point and call it a day. It don't matter how pretty it is. You just need to make sure that your graphics are clear. If you have like every kind of sale in there, make sure people understand that this is super important. This is where you get the good deals at. This is where it's at. It will work. You just have to do it, and do it consistently like everything else. So, like I said, I don't know what thumbnail I'm going to use. I'll probably use the same thumb. I think I'm just going to use a thumbnail of me sitting with all of the stuff around me. Yes, I use that. So whatever photo you all saw on the thumbnail, I'm going to insert that here too, so you all can see how my couch and part of the floor looked within an hour and 8 minutes of me getting orders. So yeah, I know this wasn't a normal video and it was kind of all over the place, but I just wanted you all to understand what I did, my thought process behind it, and just how it worked. And I just hope that inspires you all to use your email. Like, I do emails for both of my lists, and for one of my lists, I don't remember which one it was, there was one email that generated $845. So, and it wasn't just from that day, it was just people opening it, and then the automations that came after it. So that whole series of emails, I think it was 2 or 3 series, ended up generating $845 total. So Email is where it's at, but you have to know how to use it. I do have a masterclass all around email marketing if you all do not take part in the boutique intensive, which of course I do recommend as well. But yeah, that email marketing class, I'll have the link in the description for that, because I do go in depth a little bit about, you know, how to use email. So yeah, that is all. And like I said, I just hope you all do take advantage of email, because that is where it's at. So my next video, what am I going to talk about in this video? We're going to talk about, I forgot what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about how to find your target audience and what exactly a target audience is. Because when I am getting DMs, people are saying things to me where I kind of feel like they don't know the difference between like a target audience and your ideal customer and that sort of thing. So we're going to kind of just go into, you know, the basics of that and how to find them. Okay, so be sure you all tune into that video, and I am also going to be going live on Instagram tomorrow, so make sure you all follow me on Instagram at royal_aries55. We're going to be talking about the Instagram algorithm, because once again, people are confused on what exactly the algorithm is, and they are thinking about it in a totally wrong way. So I want to change your mindset and how you look at the algorithm on Instagram. All right, so I will see you all tomorrow on my live if you all are there, and if not, see you all in the next video next week. Bye, guys.